Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Today, we are going to be talking about high LTV loan options. Give us just a minute here to go live on all the different platforms. We do stream this live on a few different platforms, so give us just a second here to go live. We got the chat up on the screen there. Feel free to drop a comment there in the chat as you tune in. We definitely appreciate it. Great topic here for today to get into. I'm sure Jose has some great options to take a look at. It looks like we're live on all the different platforms, so we'll go ahead and get it started. What we'll do is we'll take the chat off the screen for now, but go ahead and keep dropping comments there in the chat as you tune in, and you can also drop any questions that you have in the chat as we go through our deep dive topic here shortly, which is high LTV loans. But we can go ahead and get it started here. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I'm the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, joined here by our President Nick Hershey and our CSO Jose Gonzalez. We are a lender that specializes in non-QM loans, and what we do every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern on this show is go through our actual live mortgage rates for a few different programs, and then we do a deep dive into a different loan topic. Today's topic is going to be high LTV loans. So I know Jose has some actual options there, some high LTV options to pull up with some rates for you to check out. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and pull up our actual rates for a few different programs like we do every morning. So Nick, if you're ready, let's go ahead and pull up the live rates and see what they're looking like today. It's been a interesting past couple of weeks here, so let's check it out this morning.
Yes, up, down, up, down, up, down. A lot of activity, but the general trend is down, which is great. So we'll check out the rates for today. It is August 9th, just after 11 a.m. So all of our standard programs have their initial rate sheets here live, and we will compare the APR across them. If you'd like a full breakdown and itemized loan estimate, please get with one of our loan officers. They would be happy to help you out. So we can compare the APR. We're going to set up a scenario, the same scenario for all the programs. We'll set up a standard single-family home, $500,000 purchase, $400,000 loan amount. That corresponds to 80% loan to value, 20% down payment. And we'll use an estimated 760 FICO score and an estimated 40% debt to income ratio. So with those as our settings, let's check out the rates today. So first up, as always, our 30-year fixed conventional, most common option people think of when they think of a mortgage. So rates coming in today at 6.25, final APR 6.581. So a great option for our customers that qualify for the standard program, but if they don't qualify for any reason, need a little extra help, we usually want to quote an FHA option, which allows more leniency on credit issues, as well as a higher overall debt to income ratio. Does require upfront and yearly mortgage insurance is the catch. Rates today coming in at 5.375. The final cost with all the mortgage insurance is 6.323. So if our customer qualifies for both, they may want to consider FHA if they're willing to do the upfront and yearly mortgage insurance that is required. And our customers that need to use it, that can't qualify any other way, definitely a good option, very comparable pricing. And our VA is only for eligible vets and active service members. If you are eligible, these are the best options typically. Rates as low as 5.625, final APR 5.915 with all of the funding fees included. And notice if we compare across the programs, that's going to be a better option for anybody that is eligible when they compare it across any of the other standard programs. And our final standard option here, USDA, is only for properties in USDA eligible areas, the rural areas of the country. If the property is eligible and our borrower is eligible, these are good options. Rates today for USDA coming in at 5.625, final APR with all the fees included, 6.371. So if our customers shopping in these areas, they're going to be comparing an FHA. USDA is typically cheaper. Right now, it's almost identical. And it's definitely a little bit cheaper than conventional. So for those properties and those customers that qualify, definitely a good option to have there. Now that rounds out the options that any bank or lender has. But if our customer doesn't qualify, we may need to use different options. That's where we love to present our 5,000 other options here, starting with our non-QM alt doc. So customer doesn't qualify for conventional with tax returns, full doc, needs to use alternative documents. We have those options, bank statement options, 1099 options, P&L options, asset-related options, all kinds of different options here. The lowest rate option is typically a bank statement program coming in at 6.75 today, final APR 7.067. So the markets have normalized a little bit there. You see we're within half a point, which is typical here when we're comparing non-QM to a standard conventional. Our customers that need to flip to alt doc, definitely very comparable price there. And as we move on to our other options, tons of different options for investors for investment properties. First up, we're going to look at our non-QM alt doc options. So again, bank statement are similar, coming in at 7.125, final APR 7.453 for an investment property. And we'll compare that to our conventional option. Remember, there are no government programs for investment properties, so no via USDA or FHA, but we do have our conventional coming in at 6.875 rate, final APR 7.211, which is a touch cheaper than the alt doc options. But there are better options out there. We love our DSCR options. No income needed, no employment needed, so easier loan overall for our borrower, less documents. And we simply use the estimated rents from the appraisal to determine a DSCR ratio. The estimated rents can cover the expenses, aka the property will cash flow monthly. That's a ratio of 1 or higher, which is preferred. Set the ratio to 1.5 for these demos so we can see all the options. First up is our 3-year prepayment penalty option, which is pretty standard. Rates coming in at 6.75 today. Final APR 7.054. Notice that beats conventional. Absolutely amazing. And we can add a 5-year prepayment penalty to sweeten the deal a little bit. Rates as low as 6.5. Final APR 6.836 for our 5-year prepayment penalty option. And we do have a no prepayment penalty option, which does cost a little bit more. So rates as low as 7.125. Final APR 7.479. So with no prepay, it is a touch higher than conventional, but I'd still say 100% of investors we speak to prefer the DSCR when it is very comparable in cost and even when it's substantially higher in cost. And the final 2 demos, we always go over second mortgages. These are very popular as HELOCs are more expensive and variable rate. These are our fixed rate second mortgages, which allow customers that have a first mortgage they don't want to touch to get cash out of their property with a non-QM second mortgage. So for a primary home, we can get rates as low as 8.625, final APR 9.045 to get cash out of that primary home without touching that first mortgage. And these are non-QM programs, so you can use bank statements and similar. And we have our investment property options, rates as low as 9.875, final APR 10.093 to get cash out of those investment properties. For our investors with a second mortgage that don't want to touch the first, again, great option. There are very few HELOCs available for investors. So let's get into our topic for today. Jose is going to be presenting our high LTV loan option. So we always present typically the highest LTV for every option, but it looks like Jose's got a special edition here where we have our max LTV for all the different programs. So Jose, I'm guessing we're just going to get straight into the quotes since there's not just one program overall here. So what do we got?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Daily Mortgage Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. So what I'm going to show you today is going through our spectrum of products and picking out our choice high LTV options to increase awareness. Some may be obvious, some may be less obvious and very helpful. Some you may just hit yourself on the head and go, wow, I didn't know that was possible. So let me see if I can make this a little bigger here. Oh, no, now I locked myself up. Give me a second here. Well, our first option here, while my screen comes back, is our 85% LTV DSCR purchase. This is what we like to call our unicorn. Or at least it was, but now we have more options and at great rates. Here we go. We are back at great rates here. If you, those of you that I know have been following the show, we've been wanting to showcase this high LTV option for a while. And this, I remember in the not so far off past, was getting near 10% for this 15% down DSCR option. And now we are at our lowest cost option at par, unbelievable, of 8.374. And you can buy that down all the way down to an amazing 6.999. Yeah, don't forget that last 9. So remember, this is only 15% down DSCR, and at 8.374 as opposed to 10%, where it was in the not too far off past, you should definitely be able to meet those DSCR numbers. So very exciting for our investors out there. And then our max LTV for our non-QM options is always 90%. So here we are showcasing our highest LTV bank statement option, 10% down, 90% LTV for our self-employed borrowers out there. And remember, with our bank statement option, we can use as much as 80% of your business bank statement deposits to qualify the borrower as income. It's a very common occurrence. Borrower comes in for an application, or should I say, come in back in the old days. Usually now it's online, right? Come into the Zoom room, um, and $2,000 a month is their tax return income. 20 or 30 or $40,000 a month is their bank statement income. So you can see why the bank statement programs are so popular when the interest rates did inch up. So 8.5% is our lowest cost option at par, and you can buy that down to 7.75% at a cost of 2.225 points. And for our investment borrowers here, 85% LTV is the maximum LTV for a bank statement purchase. Still pretty amazing, because 8.624 is our lowest rate option, which is at par. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.124 at a cost of 3.35. You do notice how our rates go a little bit lower in the investment, because we do have a prepayment penalty, and because the points and fees test does allow us to go a little bit higher in the cost. So 85% LTV there. Now, for our credit challenged borrowers, we do have an 80% LTV bank statement option at only a 600 credit score. Yes, that is not a typo. 11.125 is our lowest cost option at par, and you can buy that down all the way to 9.999. I almost forgot the last 9, at a cost of 2.475 points, our 80% LTV 600 credit score. So now one of our more obvious options here, right, our USDA 100% LTV option. Look at those rates, 6.125 offering a lender credit. So in this scenario, you even get $625 for your closing costs, and you can buy that down all the way to 5.625 at a cost of 2.125 points. And a nice, interesting option here, our 95% LTV conventional home ready affordable option for a 4-unit property. Yes, you heard me correct, house hackers out there. Primary residence, 4-unit, and look at these rates, 6.5%, offering a lender credit of 0.25 points. And you can buy that down all the way to 5.75 at a cost of 2.5 points. And our last option here is our FHA primary purchase with a 500 credit score at a 90% LTV. Yes, you heard me correct. And this option here, 7.75% rate at a cost of 1.7 points. So definitely great high LTV options here. In some cases, high LTV considering the credit score, right? That's what we also want to maximize here. And we're thinking a little bit outside the box here. So do look to the mortgage calculator for all your loan options, including non-QM, low LTV, high LTV, low credit score, and everything else under the sun.
All right. Thank you, Jose. I don't see any questions, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Remember that we do this every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we go through our live rates and then do a deep dive into a different loan topic. So we will be back next week. We'll see you on Monday with a new topic at 11 a.m. Eastern.